Oh, hello everyone, and welcome back to this F1 2017 career mode with Sauber, and we're at Russia for round 4. All 3 practice sessions have been completed with a perfect score throughout, and we're just over 1,000 resource points now. Pace in the practice sessions has been poor, to be honest. We ended, I can't remember FP1 and FP2, but FP3 we ended in 19th place. And both the McLarens were a couple of tenths ahead of us. That might be due to the fact that we're running all of these power units. So we are going to now change onto power unit number 2 for everything to go into qualifying and the race, and we'll come back to the power unit number 1s for everything for the practice sessions. Next time out in Spain for round 5. Gearbox is at 47%. I'm not going to change that until after Monaco to try and not get a penalty, because obviously at Monaco we're taking the 5th unit for everything. So there we go then. Everything is now nicely on the 0, which is just what we want, which means we're going to be very quick. And yeah, so the first thing we'll do then is we'll listen to the qualifying objective and see what the team have set us for this event. 17th place and beat Grosjean. Okay then, well, nothing much else to talk about then. So I'll go back to the laptop and go to short qualifying and yeah, crack on. So then in the garage, the weather is going to be raining in about 10 minutes time, so we have to get out there very early to get a couple of laps on the board. So the first thing we'll do then, we'll look at the setup. Drain the fuel nice and low. The aero then, 6.5 on the wings for that. We're losing a little bit of speed down the straights, but we're pretty good in sector 2, so that's fine. Transmission 70 and 70. Suspension geometry, not much has changed there. Suspension 11, 8, 8, 6, 4, 4. Brakes 85. I like the brake pressure to be at 85 for virtually every race, excuse me. And the bias is at 60, bang in the middle. Tyres, pretty high for Russia. And the weight distribution is at 5 for a change. So then we'll jump straight out there, get a lap on the boards, and yeah, quickly change your tyres and get out there again before the rain. So yeah, this Sochi Ultradrome, it's a pretty bland circuit really, one of these new age circuits where there's runoff areas everywhere, there's no gravel, there's no grass, it's all a bit just beige, isn't it? Everything's just beige, and it hasn't got a lot of character this race. However, I do like the track, and I am expected to go quite well here. So we'll get the first lap on the board and see if we can do better than our practice times. So then back in the garage, I just changed to a set of ultra soft tyres, but the rain is already falling. It started to fall just before the end of that lap, and if we look here at these tyres, if we go back to these ones here, you can see that they're starting to lose a little bit of time. And that's literally because it's already starting to get a little bit wet, so we've got to get back out there straight away. But we'll have a quick look at the timing screens. Very good lap, I felt. It felt quite nice that we're ahead of Palmer and Magnussen and Sainz and a few others as well, and there's a few guys out there that have yet to even do laps. So Hamilton's being a naughty boy, so I think we've got a good chance here of well, we might even end up starting in the top 10, but we'll get straight back out there then and yeah, see if we can improve with just a few minutes left. Okay, I can confirm that as we're drifting everywhere, I can confirm that qualifying is over. Yeah, I think it's quite clear that no one is going to be improving their time, so we'll jump straight back into the pits then. There's just under a minute left, and it looks like we're going to be starting this race in 8th place because of it, and yeah, fantastic that is. And we have good midfield pace as well, so as we, you know, God almighty, we can't even, there we go. In the pits we come. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be starting in 8th place, which is nice. So yeah, pretty happy that we managed to nail the initial lap. And we're going to be starting in 8th place, but Bottas has taken pole position with Raikkonen and Vettel 2nd and 3rd, Verstappen 4th. Other notables in the top 10, Stroll in 7th, Palmer in 9th, Magnussen in 10th, and then we've got Sainz, Alonso, Ricciardo's only 13th. Wehrlein has managed to get into 14th place, I think that's his best qualifying. Grosjean, our rival, is down in 15th. We've got Kvyat, Massa, who had to go out in the intermediates, Ocon, Van Dorn, and Hamilton, who didn't even set a lap time. So there's a few quick guys further back. I'm looking at Massa, Ocon, and Hamilton here, and Ricciardo as well, but compared to the midfield of like Palmer, Magnussen and even Stroll, we look quite good actually, so should be a competitive race. So the resource points for the qualifying session, over 1100 now. And the rivalry, well, we got a point over him, so we're 2 ahead now. And the reputation level has gone up with all the teams. I think the last race it was the big guys, they went down a little bit, not too sure why. But we're at the max in the purple, as we have been for the majority of his career now. And yeah, we're almost maxed out the Toro Rosso bar. So we'll listen to the voicemail then for the race objective. Nice and sunny outside, it is dry for the race. Finishing 14th and beat Grosjean. Yeah, the session goal's gone up a little bit because of our qualifying position. It means, of course, we'll be starting on that same set of ultra soft tyres, being in 8th place, which means we can't do an alternate strategy, but we can certainly make it work for us. So not much else to look at then. I don't think any of these bits are going to be like 2-3%, something like that. The gearbox is at 48, so hopefully we don't get any problems with that during the race. So yeah, we'll go to the race then, get the formation lap out of the way after we've looked at the race strategy, and start this race from 8th place.
Almost ready to go then. This is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Kimi Räikkönen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Hulkenberg, Stroll, and Lascelles, Palmer, and Kevin Magnussen, Sainz, Alonso, Daniel Ricciardo, and Vera, Grosjean, Fiat, Felipe Massa and Esteban Ocon, Van Dorn and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid.
So in the race strategy, it's saying at the end of lap 4, because we're starting on used tyres, I can't change this, can I? No, unfortunately I can't, which is a bit of a shame. Although it's saying if we push it to lap 6, the projected race time is half a tenth quicker. So we'll do that. We can always modify it if need be. Fuel 13.4 laps, but I think I'm gonna take a risk here and go up to 15 laps, and yeah, and pretty much run pretty much everything on the super soft tyres in rich mix. No point going for the second strategy, obviously, in a 25% race. So yeah, that's pretty much it then. It's sunny to start with and cloudy, but there's no chance of rain. So yeah, we'll do the formation lap and then get this race underway. If we can do the 6th place like we did in season 1, I'll be very happy. But as long as we get points, I think this will be a good race for us. So starting on the right hand side of the track, 8th place. Lights are out and away we go. Hulkenberg's weaving all over the place, but we're going to get the toe off through his guys. Oh, we're getting pinched already. Don't need that. Let's see if we can create some magic down into turn 1. Up into 6, good start. As you can see, around sector 2 we're pretty good in the medium to high speed corners, but we lose a little bit down the straights, but we're holding on for now. So that one completed. I'm going to run rich mix for the main straights, and then whatever I've got left I can use for the super soft tyres. So into lap 4 then. Oh, Grosjean's out the race. That helps us out with our rivalry. As long as we finish this race, we'll get loads of points over him. Seven tyres are already starting to go off a little bit, even though they're at 20%, and you can see we've dropped back. And I've got Stroll pressurising us for 6th place. I am tempted to try the undercut. Not really the undercut, but try and maintain our 6th place. But I think we'll go for one more lap because a lot of people ahead are pitting, including Stroll. So then out of the chicane, and into the pits we come. So we're building up speed now, coming out of the pit lane. We're in 7th place at least. It's a Force India behind us, which I believe was ahead of us. Building sight, so we are up to 5th, so we've jumped Perez. Oh, and Perez has got an issue. Just as I say that, I've just seen him in the background pulling off. So Perez has broken something on his car. He's pulled off to the side of the track, and now we're in 5th place. Oh, there's Perez. So he's had an issue there. So Hulkenberg's just retired in the final sector and the VSC's come out. Not that it overly matters. So it's got green. I think we had about 2.5 temps into the green, so we haven't lost too much time. Oh God, Jeff's just told me we've got gearbox wear. Not too sure if we've lost the gear. Or if he's just warning me that we've got problems imminent. We've got all gears at the moment. Or at least down to 3rd. I don't go into 2nd anywhere around here. So we've managed to maintain the gap. Not only to Verstappen ahead of us, but more importantly, Sainz behind. Just even there. There he is. Trying his best to catch us for 5th place, but it isn't going to happen. As long as you don't fuck it up, as I cut that corner, but we'll ignore that. As long as you don't fuck it up, then 5th place will be ours. So we're not going to run out of fuel this time. Just 2 more corners to go. Sainz is nowhere near us. This is going to be a 5th place result. Great result. Best of the season so far. Another 10 points. So Raikkonen's won the race by just over 3 seconds from his compatriot Bottas, with Vettel completing the podium, just holding off Verstappen. And we claim 5th place from 8th on the grid, a lap time of 39.3, only 4 tenths off of Verstappen, and a couple of tenths quicker than Sainz in 6th place. He's done well from 11th on the grid. Stroll keeps his 7th place. Ricciardo from 13th up to 8th, and Hamilton from last into 9th, and Palmer picks up the final point. Magnussen failed to score. Massa can only do 12th, and Ocon 13th from their lowly grid positions. Kvyat, Alonso, Verline in 16th place beats Stoffel Van Dorn, and then Perez was 2 laps down in the end after creeping back to the pits, and he's made 2 pit stops as well, and so is Van Dorn, don't know why. And Hulkenberg and Grosjean also failed to finish, so we'll have a look at the standings and see what that changes everywhere. Bottas then extends his lead a little, no, in fact he loses his lead a little bit because Raikkonen won the race, so it's Finland 1st and 2nd at the moment. Hamilton's 20 points back with Verstappen in 4th. Vettel only on 27 points, now it's including the 15 he just scored here in Russia. Massa in 7th place. We've jumped up to 18 points and up into 8th place, which is very nice. And then Perez and Sainz round off the top 10. 4 people yet to score: Kvyat, Alonso, Verline and Van Dorn. And in the constructors, Ferrari have caught up a little bit, but they're still 46 points behind Mercedes. Red Bull safe again in 3rd place, Williams in 4th, and we've actually jumped up to 5th place then. Look at that, 5th place on 18 points, tied with Force India. Toro Rosso have scored a few points as well and jumped up into 7th place on 9. Renault on 7, Haas on 2, and McLaren have yet to score. 5th place for Sauber. It would be great if we could end the season there. So the resource points then, this should take us over 1200 at least. We've had a very good race session, and we even gained on our qualifying position, which I didn't expect us to do, 1240. And the resource points for first driver bonus as well, 5 or 10% I think it is at the moment, something like that, but another 27 anyway. Rivalry update, yeah, 4-1, that's nice. We're now 5 ahead of Grosjean, and we should be able to lock this away in the next coming races. And the team approval again continues. Well, it's shot up there with a few teams, hasn't it, due to a great race, 8th in qualifying, 5th in the race. And Toro Rosso there leads in a way, just ahead of Haas and again McLaren. And then finally the career score for the weekend. I'm expecting this to be fairly decent. It is just over 10,000. If we get over 10,000, we know we've had a good day. So yeah, very nice all round there. No flashbacks, of course. No penalty-free weekend as well. All very nice. And the core competency, what have we done? Oh, pit stop efficiency. We've now done 25 racing pit stops. So our pits crew is now going to be 20% quicker than what they were at the start. We're very close as well to this for simultaneous development. We might get that done after Spain if we manage to get perfect in all 5 sessions. Still quite a way on the development. We need to do 5 more classic events to halve the development time in the majors, and we're 2 races away from them. So it's 5% we get at the moment, additional bonus resource points, and 10% once we do another 2 races. So after Monaco then that will come into effect, so we'll be pretty much getting on the way to completing all these soon, which is very nice. And I thought we might get one of these. So we've got one of these. We've got a classic car event, both in the wet by the looks of it. Oh no, that's the dry. Time attack in China, which we did with the Ferrari at Belgium, and it's in 1992 Williams FW14B that Mansell drove to the championship, or the overtake challenge at USA Short in the wet. I'd rather do the time attack, please. So we'll go do that then, and yeah, try and get another classic car event unlocked. And it is in the rain. Didn't think it was, but there we go. So then we've got to do what is it? Race against the clock to complete the required laps before time runs out. We've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds to do 3 laps around the Canadian circuit in a 92 Williams. Don't know if I'll do it first time or not, but we'll give it a go and see what we can do. So we've got other cars on track as well, which is going to be a bit of a challenge. Oh, back end. So first lap down then, 3 minutes and 7 seconds left to go. So we've just passed the 96 Williams, now up to the 95 Ferrari. We're going very slowly. So 32 seconds left. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll do it with 7 or 8 seconds left. Oh, it's going to be a little shorter than that. 2 or 3 seconds left. 4 seconds left, but we've done it. So very nice, past the goal to finish the race in under 4 minutes and 40. We've done it in 4:36, 4 seconds to spare. So just about did it then, but I'm happy with that. We'll end the episode here then, because obviously the next screen will be the before FP1 at Spain. Of course, it means I haven't been able to do any updates at this time, but I'm sort of coming down on the idea of spending more money on having the upgrades made cheaper. So then we can do everything more in a hit. I'd ideally like everything to be 50%, and then we can just smash out upgrades after upgrades after upgrades. But I don't want to leave it too late before the bigger teams, or the teams around us, or the teams ahead of us I should say, we're at the back, upgrade too far ahead. They haven't so far. I looked before, I think FP3, and a couple of teams have only done maybe 1 or 2 upgrades since the beginning of the season. So if we do 5 or 6, we'll be pretty much doing what they're doing as well. So but I don't think it's too much of an issue just yet. This is a 10-year career after all, and I think it's going to take quite a while for all these guys to really max out their cars again. So yeah, we'll end the episode there then. Good race at Russia then. A bit surprising with the qualifying, with the rain arriving earlier than it was supposed to. But we managed to start in 8th. Good start up to 6th place, up to 5th after Perez blew a tyre, and held on to it for another 10 points. And we've just done this this challenge here as well. So yeah, season's going quite well so far. We've scored points in 3 of the 4 races so far. We should have had a point in China, but I ran out of fuel, so we'll gloss over that and forget about it. And yeah, it's been a good start so far, so long may it continue. But for now anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon for the next race.